In the busy heart of Lagos stood Greenhill Secondary School, a place where students feared one man more than all their subjects combined, Mr. Rufus. He was tall, dark, and always carried a long cane he called the Corrector. Every morning, the sound of that cane hitting desks or students' palms echoed through the corridors like thunder. Even the bravest student trembled when his voice filled the air. Among his students was a quiet boy named Tobi. Tobi was a respectful boy who lived with his mother in a small compound near the market. His father, once a famous boxer called Iron Joe, had retired years ago and now worked as a taxi driver. Tobi always tried to stay out of trouble, but in Mr. Rufus's class, even breathing too loudly could earn you punishment. One hot afternoon, while the generator hummed behind the school, Mr. Rufus gave a quick maths test. Tobi forgot his ruler at home and used his notebook edge instead. When Mr. Rufus saw it, his face twisted with anger. "Are you mocking me, Tobi?" he shouted. Before Tobi could explain, the corrector landed sharply on his hand. Tobi's hand burned with pain as other students watched in silence. He wanted to cry, but he didn't. He only whispered, "Sorry, sir." After class, he went home quietly, hiding his red marks from his mother. That night, his father noticed him trying to eat with one hand. "Who did that to you, my boy?" Iron Joe asked, calmly, his voice deep. Tobi tried to hide the truth, but his father's eyes saw everything. The next morning, Iron Joe walked Tobi to school. His tall, strong frame drew everyone's eyes. He met Mr. Rufus at the gate and greeted him politely. "Good morning, sir," he said. "Please take it easy on my boy. He's trying." Mr. Rufus smiled thinly. "Your son must learn discipline, sir. That's my job." Iron Joe nodded slowly. "Just don't mistake fear for discipline," he replied before leaving. But instead of learning, Mr. Rufus became angrier. He didn't like being told how to run his class. That day he watched Tobi more closely, waiting for a reason to punish him again. When Tobi accidentally dropped his pencil, Mr. Rufus shouted, "Stand up!" Everyone went silent. From that day, Tobi became his target. During assembly, Mr. Rufus made Tobi the class monitor, not as a reward, but as a trap. He said, "You'll report anyone who talks." If anyone made noise, Mr. Rufus punished both the talker and the monitor. Tobi tried his best, but his classmates started to hate him. They teased, "You are Mr. Rufus's pet." One boy, Kunle, even poured chalk dust on Tobi's chair. When Mr. Rufus came in and saw it, he blamed Tobi instead. That afternoon, Tobi received 5 strokes in front of everyone. He tried not to cry, but the pain was too much. When he got home, he told his mother everything. She was furious, but begged him not to tell his father. She said he will only make things worse. But trouble had already begun to grow. For days, Iron Joe noticed his son growing quiet and fearful. He saw the fresh marks on his arm and the sadness in his eyes. One evening, while washing his taxi, he finally asked again. Tobi hesitated, then whispered, "It's Mr. Rufus. He hates me." Iron Joe's face darkened. "Tomorrow, I'll visit your school." His wife tried to stop him. "Please, Joe, don't fight anyone. We need peace." But Iron Joe only said, "I won't fight unless I have to." That night, Tobi couldn't sleep. He worried what might happen when his father met Mr. Rufus again. He prayed it wouldn't end badly. The next day, Iron Joe arrived at Greenhill, just as Mr. Rufus was flogging another student. The man's voice thundered, "Mr. Rufus!" The classroom froze. Mr. Rufus looked up, surprised to see him again. "I told you to take it easy," Iron Joe said, walking closer. "Why do you keep hurting my boy?" Mr. Rufus smirked. "This is my classroom, not your boxing ring. You can leave." The students gasped. Iron Joe's fists tightened, but he stayed calm. "You'll regret this," Mr. Rufus said, raising his cane again. not knowing that his words had just written his own downfall. That evening, rumors spread across the school. Mr. Rufus had beaten Tobi again, this time so badly that the boy fainted. Teachers rushed him to the sick bay. When Iron Joe arrived, he saw his son weak and trembling. Something inside him broke. He walked straight to the principal's office, but Mr. Rufus was there too, arguing proudly. "The boy deserved it," he shouted. Before the principal could speak, Iron Joe turned to Mr. Rufus. His calm voice sent chills through the room. "You've gone too far, sir." Outside the school gate, a crowd of students had gathered. They watched as Iron Joe removed his jacket. "You like to use your cane?" he said quietly. "Let me show you how real discipline feels." Mr. Rufus swung first, but Iron Joe dodged easily. One sharp punch to the stomach, one tap to the shoulder, and the teacher fell flat. Iron Joe didn't continue. He only said, "Now you know what pain is. Don't touch my boy again." The principal ran out and begged him to stop. "Please, Mr. Joe, you'll cause trouble." Iron Joe nodded and helped Mr. Rufus up. "Be a teacher, not a tormentor," he said, then left with Tobi. News spread quickly around Lagos. Some said Iron Joe had disgraced Mr. Rufus. Others said the teacher deserved it. The school suspended Mr. Rufus for 2 weeks. When he returned, his cane was gone and his voice quieter. He avoided Tobi's class completely. The once feared teacher now walked with his head low, humbled by the lesson he had learned. Tobi became more confident. His classmates started respecting him again. Even Kunle apologized for mocking him. "Your father is a real man," he said. For the first time, Tobi smiled inside the classroom. Months later, Greenhill Secondary became a better school. The teachers began to treat students more kindly, and the principal banned the use of canes. One Friday morning, Mr. Rufus stood before the students and said, "I have learned my mistake. I was wrong to think fear is the same as respect." He looked at Tobi and added softly, "Thank you for teaching me that." After school, Iron Joe came to pick his son. He shook Tobi's hand proudly. "You see, son, sometimes silence is not weakness, but respect should always walk with courage." And as they walked home through the busy Lagos streets, Tobi felt free at last, free from fear and proud of the father who stood up for him. And that was how Iron Joe taught everyone that true discipline comes with love, not fear. If you enjoyed this story, don't just scroll away. Like the video if you believe every child deserves kindness. Comment, "No more fear in school," if you stand against wicked teachers. Subscribe to Tales from Obi for more powerful African stories that teach, touch, and inspire. Because here on Tales from Obi, every story carries a lesson,